The Business Report, brought to you by the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, a department of the Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment, supporting young entrepreneurs from idea to enterprise.
It's Wednesday, so of course we will be featuring one of the clients of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. Tonight we look at a company using technology to improve the healthcare sector. Established in 2017, Regis is a health technology startup company run by Chief Executive Officer Dale Trotman. His mission is simple: to eradicate the widespread use of paper in ambulatory, or what is better known as outpatient care.
My background really isn't in healthcare, but I always say once you have a brain, you can conceptualize anything. So in 2012, I was entering a competition called the Caribbean Innovation Challenge. It was an inaugural competition for the Caribbean, hosted by the Young America's Business Trust. When I started looking at the name of the competition, innovations hit out at me. So I started looking at different sectors which needed innovation. And in my opinion, healthcare was the most interesting because from check-in to checkout within the Caribbean, 9 out of 10 doctors still use paper. And that's how the idea started.
Regis runs a web-based app which provides an electronic environment for the management of patient records, appointments, and other matters. At present, the company has clients in Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. While the idea is to have the app available in other countries, the plan at the moment is to make sure everything is right.
There's certain technologies we're looking to implement within the application, also to expand across the Caribbean as well, and probably look at different markets, including Africa. But roadmap-wise, make the solution more efficient. As you know, with any application, there's always things you could do to improve it. So deal with those initial improvements, look to expand, and be the pioneer health technology startup within the Caribbean.
And as the public healthcare system prepares to make the digital transition, the company is in talks with the government.
Currently, I'm having some conversations with the Ministry of Health. It's still in the early stages, so I cannot really say how that will go, but the team seems positive and eager about what I'm doing, so we'll see how that goes moving forward.
The young CEO's work has seen him copping several awards, and he won the Caribbean Innovation Competition. He is currently working with a development team out of Europe, which has been helping him pro bono, and has secured a partnership with technology giant BlackBerry. Now, as it relates to BlackBerry, he explains that part of being an entrepreneur is being strategic and creating those opportunities when they arise.
When I made the finals of TIC Americas, which is the biggest entrepreneurial competition in the Western Hemisphere, I reached out to BlackBerry. I told them I was going to win the competition. I told them I'm going to use their phone because at that time BlackBerry had a phone called the BlackBerry Passport. It's a rectangular shaped phone. It's very good for presentations, but it looks odd. So I told them I'm going to use the phone within my presentations at my booth and with the judges, and I'm going to video it and show you guys. So I did all of that. The person I was speaking to at that point in time was the CEO of BlackBerry, which is John Chen. I reached out to him via LinkedIn, and I told him about the competition and that I was going to win it, and I'm going to use your product to highlight that, and I would like us going forward to see how we could work together, because health technology must be synonymous with security, and BlackBerry is synonymous with security.
Yes has helped him in building the business from the ground up.
In terms of advice and funding, Yes has been one of the most significant contributors to what I'm doing.
Mr. Trotman will be traveling to the Middle East later this year after capturing first prize at the national finals of the Entrepreneurship World Cup competition held earlier this year here in Barbados. He is one of 10 fully sponsored global finalists to participate in the next round of the global competition against national winners from 184 countries. That contest is taking place in Saudi Arabia.
Do you have an idea for a business or have started a business? Are you between 18 and 30 years old? Then you need to contact YES, the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. YES is a dynamic network of services creatively packaged for you, the young entrepreneur. YES offers critical, timely business solutions, specialized technical assistance in accounting, legal, and marketing, a practical entrepreneurial training program, and your own youth enterprise officer for one-on-one counseling and mentoring. Contact Yes today at 535-3835 and get your business moving. The Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment.
And we hear now from President of the Barbados Bankers Association, Donna Wellington. She is rejecting suggestions from some quarters that commercial banks do not like to lend to small businesses.
We support small, we support medium, we support business banking, we support individuals as well. And some people think that we don't lend to businesses, we don't lend to small businesses. We absolutely do. All of the commercial banks have small business units who do that. The challenge, though, is that in a lot of cases, small businesses do not have a lot of financial literacy. And this is something that I feel very strongly about in Barbados, because one of the things that we're finding is that people want to come and borrow from financial institutions. They want to come and borrow, especially from commercial banks. But what we require of you in terms of financial reporting is not something that you're willing to do. And then you're surprised that you don't get through. A lot of it has to do with your ability to have financial literacy in your organization.
On Water Wednesdays this week, we are talking about outages that you've been seeing in 3 parishes, mainly in recent time. First up is St. Thomas. Of course, there have been some issues at the Shop Hill Reservoir, and to tell me a bit more about how the Barbados Water Authority is responding, we have the General Manager of the Barbados Water Authority, Keith Roy Halliday. Mr. Halliday, the residents have been crying out because of the outages. What can you tell us about what is happening there and the response?
The Shop Hill Reservoir is one that feeds a very large community, St. Thomas and the surrounding districts. The demand in the Shop Hill area is extremely high, so much so that we actually have 6 feeds going into Shop Hill. And when we talk about feeds, we're talking about where water is produced and how it is sent into Shop Hill. What we are seeking to do to address part of that issue right now is to get additional pumps installed, particularly at the Lodge Hill Reservoir, which would allow us to send additional water into Shop Hill. And that's been supported by the fact that we have had an expansion at the Ionics Spring Garden plant, and therefore we're getting additional water flowing through St. Stephen's going into Lodge Hill, and that would allow us in turn to send additional water into Shop Hill. It's regrettable that we weren't able to get it done in the last 2 weeks. There were some shipping delays, but we can confirm that that particular pump is in the port and it should be installed very shortly. Outside of that, we recognize that because of the demand on a year-round basis, that we will always have a challenge with the Shop Hill supply. And if you recall, even when we spoke earlier, when we were at the estimates, we had indicated that the only way we can really resolve part of this issue is through the expansion program at Ionics, which will see another 50 million gallons of water being produced daily. And that will assist us in supplying water to the Shop Hill area, sending water further down to the west coast, and sending water further up through Lancaster, Apes, and into Casa Grande. So that is where we are at the moment.
Now, residents of St. Joseph, we haven't forgotten you. Of course, there were those nightly shutoffs, and you can continue to go to our Facebook page to get updates on that. What is the situation in St. Joseph? And I know that they were doing the nightly shutoffs to build back capacity in the systems that supply water there. How has that been working?
This has been working well, in the sense that because of the nightly shutoffs, we've been able to preserve, or rather reserve, water for the higher elevations. But we've actually approached this challenge in maybe about 3 or 4 different ways. Apart from the nightly shutoffs, we would have installed a booster station at Bushy Park, and that in turn would have supplied water to the Bowmanston system, to the Golden Ridge system, and then therefore to the Casa Grande system. We've also done the nightly shutoffs that we've just indicated, and we've been managing very carefully the production levels for Sweet Vale, and the boreholes to be able to supply the Golden Ridge. And now with the expansion at Ionics, as we get those mains installed so that will supply additional water, we'll see water going through Apes Hill into the Casa Grande as well. The St. Joseph area is hilly, and there are no access points for water necessarily for the production of water necessarily in that area, apart from the boreholes that we've just mentioned. And these are the 3 or 4 ways we're looking to enhance the water supply in the St. Joseph area. With respect to the nightly shutoffs in St. Lucie, we have seen some success, and that has impacted positively on our ability to supply water to the elevated areas such as Boscobel. On the first night, we were able to see an increase in levels from 4 feet to 14 feet, and this is exactly what we wanted to achieve. We have to maintain that water balance, and this is the point that we've made to everyone, and we are happy that everyone is working with us, because we need to sometimes take this kind of activity. It's not drastic, it's just about making sure that everyone gets some measure of supply.
Okay, well, we will continue to update you about the progress in this regard right here on Water Wednesdays. We want to thank you so much, Mr. Halliday. To view this or a previous episode again, please visit our website, www.barbadoswaterauthority.com. Please also go to our Facebook page for those consistent updates, or just type Water Wednesdays in YouTube. You can find us there.